You know how you said that it gets worse before it gets better?
It can, it doesn't have to. I'm simply saying that if it does, then you know that that's actually a good sign.
Okay, well, that's happening to me.
Oh, all right.
And
Congratulations. How exciting for you.
Thank you.
You must be very, very close to crossing the threshold.
I hope so, and that's my question.
You don't have to hope so. I just told you so.
Okay. Okay.
In what area of your life are you experiencing this fear?
Just in general. In general about my life.
In general about your life. May I ask you a question?
Yes.
Is there something that you would prefer to be doing that you're not doing? That you're afraid to do?
I don't know.
Sure you do.
No, for real, I don't.
Sure you do.
I promise I don't know.
Oh, yes you do. I promise you do. It doesn't have to be a big thing. You are having this conversation with us, we will assume, for the moment, because it excited you to come and have this conversation. That wasn't difficult to choose, was it?
No,
that wasn't difficult to act on.
It was difficult. I'm very scared right now.
Why?
I don't know.
But you did it.
Yeah.
You acted on it.
I'm glad.
But that's all you have to keep doing. Every moment, there is always going to be something that contains maybe just a little bit more excitement than any other option at that moment. That's the thing to act on.
Even if you fear it?
Especially if you fear it. Because sometimes the idea is that your belief systems are disguising your excitement as fear so you won't go forward in that. But that's a trick. The negative belief will do everything in its power to prevent you from seeing the excitement because it knows that if you act on it, you will no longer be buying into the negative belief. And it is doing everything that it's designed to do to keep you from realizing that. But if you know that, and you know that that's just a trick, then you can take action anyway, knowing that you will break through, just as you broke through and came and had this conversation.
Wow. I guess that's my question. So even if you feel the fear, my main question was, how do you step over on the other side? Because you told someone else that you're getting that much closer.
Well, you just take the step, because
you
you know that no matter how much fear you feel, that means you are closer and closer and closer
so you keep
to breaking
going
through. You just
because
keep
sometimes
going.
I feel
you
like
just take action.
Sometimes I feel like I'm making the wrong decision.
If that is actually true in a fundamental sense, then you will know at some point that it was not necessarily the decision that is to your preference. And then you will be able to take the decision and take the action that is. So even the negative will have served you by showing you the contrast of what you don't prefer, so you can more clearly understand what you do. So everything can still work to your favor. That's what we were talking about earlier by talking about the idea that a mistake is not really a mistake if you don't use it as a negative thing.
Right.
You can't really make a wrong choice if you choose to learn something from the choice that you don't prefer. Because many times it's easier for people on your planet, because of the way they have been brought up, to see the light by first experiencing more darkness, because it helps them recognize the difference. And therefore you're using the darkness in a positive way to help you see the light more easily. Yes?
Yeah.
So the more you experience the fear, all that tells you is you're holding on to belief systems that are out of alignment with your true self. You're holding on to belief systems that don't work for you. That's all. It's just a mechanism. That's all it is. It's like saying, I'm going to drive a car and I'm going to have my foot on the gas and on the brake simultaneously. And just for good measure, I'm going to also put the parking brake on. That's not how you drive a car, is it?
Right.
So your engine's going to squeal and screech and start to smoke, and you're going to wonder why I'm not getting anywhere. It's making all this racket and ooh, isn't that scary? When all you have to do is release the parking brake and take your foot off the brake and you'll move. That's all. So all of that storm and lightning and thunder and fear is just you with your foot on the brake. That's all. Take your foot off the brake and you will zip forward. And you'll see that there was no reason to be afraid.
That's what's been happening with me over the past year.
I
know. Guess I feel like I don't know what to do from here on. So just release the parking brake.
Take the small steps you know you can take, by acting at every moment on the thing that contains a little bit more excitement than the next thing, and just keep acting on it to the best of your ability with no insistence on where that should lead or how it should look or what the outcome is about. And the more you do that, the more practice you will have with knowing it's okay to start acting on more excitement and bigger things that excite you. And you will train yourself to understand that that's what you actually prefer, and your fears will subside because you'll be having so much fun, you will no longer want to pay attention to the negative belief that's shouting at you to stop. You will then know when to slow down, when to speed up in a more natural way, according to what you prefer, not what the negative belief tries to convince you is true about you. You will know what is true about you, and you won't have to pay attention to it anymore in the same way.
I like that. I feel like I don't trust my decisions.
Oh, absolutely you don't.
Yeah.
But that's the idea, is
because
not trusting your decisions is a decision.
Right.
And that's the one you're trusting. You are trusting your decision. It's just that you're choosing to trust the negative one. You see the difference? There's no such thing as a lack of trust. No such thing. But you can trust in something negative about yourself.
Right.
So you are trusting. So why not trust what you prefer instead of what you don't?
It's because I made a decision last year, and
Yes.
I trusted that decision, and it turned out to be
What?
chaotic. I mean, my life
So
kind
what?
of turned upside down.
Congratulations. You could learn something
Yeah,
from
I mean,
that.
all my fears came up, all the darkness.
Congratulations. So you are strong enough and bold enough to have gotten all of that out on the table all at once instead of piddling along through your life over time. That means you're a powerful person and can handle all of this, and you will transform it very quickly. If you want to look at it that way, that's how you'll experience it. If you want to dwell on the fact that you did it, you're going to make it take longer.
That's what I've been doing.
Well, are you tired of it?
Yeah.
Are you sick of it?
I'm really
Stop
sick of
doing it.
Okay.
Unless you're really not sick and tired of it.
I'm really sick and tired.
Then stop doing it, because you have the freedom to make that choice and make
Okay.
that decision. And there is absolutely no reason for you to assume that if the universe has been supporting you in trusting a negative idea, it will just as easily support you in trusting a positive one, because it doesn't have a mind of its own.
Right.
It's just a machine. It's not going to contradict you.
Okay, I get it. So just to clarify,
Yes.
what to do from here on is just to trust myself.
At the end of this conversation, you have a number of options available to you at the end of this interaction. Look at all the options and just say, which one contains even a little bit more excitement than any other? I could read a book, I could call a friend, I could go have a meal, I could see a movie, whatever it is. Keep it simple. Just keep choosing the one that has more excitement than any other, that you have the greatest ability to take action on, and just take action on it with no insistence on a particular outcome. And see what happens. And just keep doing that every moment that you come to another ability to choose something to do. Just look at all your options at that moment, take your time, no rush, no hurry, and just choose the one that's most exciting and take whatever action you can on it with no assumption as to where that's supposed to lead. And just keep doing that every moment. Just keep doing that every moment. Just keep doing that every moment. And before you know it, your life will be a series of absolutely ecstatic choices and experience.
I like that. And then the mistake last year won't impact me anymore.
Why should it?
Okay.
You have learned from it. You have used it in a positive way to make a different choice. So how can something that is no longer relevant to your vibration in any way, shape, or form impact you?
Thank you.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
You can only experience what you're the vibrational level of. You can't experience something that is not a match to your vibration anymore. Does that make sense?
Yes, perfect sense. Thanks
All right.
so much.
So the idea, let us reinforce this from a different point of view. Remember, the proof that you have changed is not because the outside looks different. Because the same things may appear to happen.
Right, I get caught up in that.
So the idea is the proof you have changed is when you respond differently to them, even if they look the same as they did before. Because they're not the same. if you respond differently. You will get a different effect from them. You understand? So that's the proof you've changed, and that's how you will experience your life differently. Does that help?
Yeah, it helps so much.
All right. Well, you are welcome.
Thank you so much. Can I ask one more question? Okay, I came across the transcripts of the alien from the Roswell crash.
Yeah.
Her name was Darryl, and I was just wanting to ask you what you thought of them. I mean, are they true? What she says about Earth and
It
humans?
is true that there was a crash. It is true that the beings were both killed and one survived.
Mm-hmm. Okay, but then they also interviewed her, right? Interviewed that
Not
alien?
in the way that you have ever witnessed.
Well, there's actually like transcripts over on the
And
internet.
do you not think that someone is capable of writing those?
Wow, they aren't real?
Not everything in there is accurate, but some of the truth has been sprinkled in.
So we're not a prison planet.
No, you are not.
Okay, so they don't trap spirits and send them to Earth.
Do you find that exciting?
No. No. I don't want that. Okay.
It's not, well, let's put it this way. Remember when we said that many people on your planet are still operating on outdated medieval definitions?
Yes.
This is an old-fashioned definition, an old-fashioned interpretation of something that you are beginning to understand. So if you want to call the idea of your Earth a prison planet, you also at the same time have to understand that you are the jailers and you have the key. So let yourselves out. That's the interpretation to understand that works for you. Yes?
Yes.
Otherwise, you don't have to think of yourselves as prisoners at all.
That's great.
Well,
Because those transcripts were bizarre.
and they are designed in many ways to actually invoke the idea of keeping you on the level of fear. And by doing that, you imprison yourself. Do you understand?
Yes.
So the mechanism itself is actually the thing that causes the experience of being imprisoned, by telling you that you are and seeing if you buy it. If you don't buy it, you're not imprisoned. If you buy it, you are. But you can just as easily stop buying it. Yes?
Yes.
Does that help?
Yes.
You see,
helps so much.
a lot of those kinds of documents and a lot of those kinds of ideas are put out to see if you are willing to believe that the people that create those things have more power than they actually do. And once you believe they have more power than they actually do, they have more power than they actually do. Because you're giving them your power by buying into the things they're saying about themselves that they want you to believe are true. But they don't have to be. So live in the world that you prefer and understand that you can only be affected by what you agree to be affected by. Does that help?
Yes, helps so much. Thank you so much.
You are welcome.
I love you.
Our unconditional love to you as well.